Well, welcome everyone. I'm talking today with my good friend Josh Miller. We are talking about why giving to a missionary or giving to missions is a joy and not a burden. And how are you doing today, Josh?
Doing well. How about you?
Doing pretty good. I was just at Josh's house yesterday morning, actually, in Dallas. And now I'm up here in Northern California. Long travels, long drives, but doing well.
Your arms must be tired from the flight.
My arms?
Yeah.
That was just corny enough for me to giggle, so I appreciate that. No, my arms are tired from the drive. I've been driving up. I went to already a couple different churches sharing. And speaking of which, let me just introduce myself. My name is David Joannis. I'm the founder and president of Within Reach Global, nonprofit missionary organization that is reaching unreached people groups in the 1040 window, specifically in China. You can check that out at withinreachglobal.org, and I'll leave that link for you here. Also, welcome, Mr. Jim Dude. Nice name. I like your twiddle handle there, Mr. Jim Dude. And by the way, I also blog at davidjoannis.com. All things missions all the time. Hey, good to see ya. So welcome. And I'd like to introduce my friend. We've known each other for 18 years. Josh, why don't you introduce yourself and how we met?
Yeah. My name is Josh Miller. I met Dave about 18 years ago in 1996, I believe it was, when we were both at Team Mania Ministries. I came in the summer, and Dave had joined earlier that year in January. And so we overlapped for, believe it or not, it's hard to believe we really only overlapped there for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, that's right.
But during that time, I think we interacted on a number of different things and just got to know Dave, then and after, just following all the work he's doing in China and throughout the Southeast Asia and the 1040 window, and just have a really good connection. I love his heart and I love what he's doing there. So we've known each other quite a while.
Yeah. Now, it is amazing. Only 4 months, and somehow over the years, we've had chances to do things like dove hunts and connect. And as we're talking about this, giving to a missionary or giving to missions is a joy, not a burden. I guess I wanted to have my friend Josh on here because he is one of our vision partners at Within Reach Global. In fact, I'll give you a link here. If you're this, by the way, is by no means a call to come support our ministry Within Reach Global. That's not what this is about. I guess it's more a topic of, let me get your thoughts, Josh. We have this white noise all the time, constantly being bombarded by social media and people trying to get finances and funds from us. So how is it that you go about finding a quality missionary or missions agency to give to?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And I will say, you should give to Within Reach Global because they're doing really great things. But, I think for me, I look for, people who are trustworthy, people that oftentimes that I know personally or that I know through, another close friend who I trust. Having known you for a long time and seen the work you're doing, I look for things that are authentic and effective, really. There's nothing wrong with giving to a big organization, but sometimes I think you sort of wonder sometimes how much my funding got sucked up into overhead costs, or got tied up in this or that, or how much of it actually makes it to the people you're trying to reach. For instance, there was a study a couple of years ago of all the pink campaign that NFL does for breast cancer awareness, and you can buy all kinds of different branded merchandise and that sort of thing. And I think they dug into it and found out that somewhere around 5 or 8% of all proceeds of NFL merchandise that has the breast cancer awareness branding actually makes it to cancer research.
Really?
Because so many different people are taking their cut. Yeah, it's a very, very small amount. So, I like to try and find, things, like what you're doing within Reach Global, where, I can see I know you. I know what you're doing. You're very good about communicating. What the needs are, breaking it down, and you can see the results and see the fruit, if you will, and not worry so much about where is the contribution going. How's it being used?
Which is a big thing. I think people are so tired of giving to something, Haiti, for as another example, and seeing millions and millions of dollars go into some program, some organization, then seeing little results. So, okay, stepping back, Josh, what brought about your heart for missions initially?
Yeah,
and why is it that you do missions?
Yeah, so it's specifically. We'll get into that next. Specifically, 1040 missions. But I took my first mission trip with Team Mania Ministries in 1994 with my youth group. We went to Mexico, and after that, the following year, went to El Salvador. So I'd spent a couple of trips in Latin America, and then after that, most of the trips that I did with them, ended up in Southeast Asia. So I've been all over Southeast Asia. I've been Hong Kong and China. Been Thailand, Laos, Cambodia. You really a lot of the areas that you're working in, and just over those years, learned a lot about how the gospel is being preached, what missionaries are actually doing, and the 1040 window, that area of the world, it really is unreached in a lot of ways. There's a huge portion of the population there, depending upon the stats. The different stats are out there. Maybe somewhere around 2 billion people who have yet to actually hear the gospel in a form that's relevant to them, that they can actually, in some cases, even understand. There's a huge number of people there who just are completely isolated and separated from the gospel. And just being to some of those parts of the world on mission trips and hearing the statistics and seeing people, it just stirred my heart that's the area of the world that I would like to when I'm thinking about giving to a missionary, focus on giving to. And I think you've got some stats about how much money is given to missions annually by the U.S. Church, and those are sobering statistics.
Yeah, and when I'm hearing you talk, it sounds like you're talking about the area of the world that is without access or little access. So it seems like when you give to a missions, part of the joy, not burden of it, is that you're excited to give to areas that have no access to the gospel, places, people who have never seen or heard of Christian, maybe don't have a church, don't have access to the gospel. So is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to put words in your mouth here.
You couldn't see my head rattling, huh?
Okay. Well, yeah, I saw it bobbing there. Speaking of which, here I'm going to share this on Twitter, and so do make sure you're not bobbing back and forth, because it'll create a little GIF for us, and our heads will bob along there on Twitter. So, so Josh. Okay. Well, let me just share this. By the way, if at any time you want to share this with your friends, go ahead and do that. You could tweet Little Bird. You could tell your friends on Facebook. I guess the reason why, you could give us love there in the form of props, digital. Just click anywhere on our face. Thank you there. Carlton, you're awesome. So obviously there's times, people are stretched right now financially. I think it's fair to say across the states. I'm in California right now. Josh is in Texas. People are stretched. They have a lot of financial commitments. You got family, you got church, you got other missionaries or ministries you're sowing into. Is there a time when giving to a missionary is a burden, Josh? Would you say? Okay, you could be honest.
I mean, sure. Yeah, I mean, it can be. If you have a tight budget and that sort of thing, it definitely can at times be difficult. But it really is, it really is a joy to give, because you're, for me, it's about, I'm not going to go live in China. I'm not going to go live in northern Thailand,
Wait, what?
Like you do. Yeah, you got me
signed up. I thought you were on your way. I thought you were moving over.
I'm not going to do those things. And, there was a time in my life where I thought I would, but that's just not where I'm at in my stage of life today.
Sure.
So giving to folks like you, sort of allows me to connect to that part of the world that I have, a heart for, and that I'm passionate about. And so in a way, it's like I'm there. It's not really like I'm there, but it's a way for me to be there and express my heart for that part of the world by getting behind what you're doing in that part of the world. So, I mean, it really, I know that's the name of the talk today, but it really is a joy because you're able to connect, with something that you're passionate about.
Yeah. Okay. So the reality is, obviously, by the way, if at any time you guys feel like you wanted to call in, there is a place you could actually call in if you have some thoughts or similar related things that you had wanted to share on your heart. Go ahead and call in if you got the guts. Josh would be happy to handle all your questions. So obviously, yeah. I mean, there is a time that I guess the thing is when David says that which costs me nothing is not worthy to be sacrificed is probably true of this case. Will giving to a quality mission organization or missionary be considered or be felt as a burden? Sure. So maybe our topic is not necessarily correct, but I think the joy of sharing in all the, for example, when I see people at our college student ministry getting saved or these children getting cleft lip surgery, there's a part of it that will be accredited back to you. You might not want to publicly take that reward, but I think it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I definitely don't think about it that way. Yeah. And I know there's not some kind of record keeping and that sort of thing, but it is a way for me to feel connected and and I mean it's like I believe in the mission that you guys are doing, and that there are others who are doing some other things in similar places, and I like getting behind them too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know we could keep talking about this all day, but I wanted to connect with you because I wanted to inspire people that though there is perhaps a sacrifice, the joy of giving to a missionary or a missions organization or seeing something that's on the ground, rubber meets the road, life changes. It's a powerful thing. So I would just encourage you guys. I just put a link on there, by the way, Issachar Initiative. There's different organizations that are, I think, really quality to give to. You can go check those out. And of course, definitely make sure you follow me here, shameless plug on davidjoannis.com. And like Josh said, this is definitely not about us support within Reach Global. That's not what this is about. It's rather an encouragement, inspiration to find someone quality worth giving to. And within Reach Global is, like Josh said, something that might be powerful to give to. So, Josh, I know you're going to be heading back to work here soon. And I just really appreciate you joining me.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Yeah. I hope it inspires other people to sow into eternal things.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a great opportunity. I mean, your church, is obviously a place that you should be giving, but for me, the next big building project that's going to cost, how many millions of dollars, whatever. Those are, when I think about the impact that, giving to a building project in the States versus giving to somebody like yourself within Reach, just the basically, sort of the value you get for your dollar out of the outreach per dollars, if you're going to measure it on some kind of an economic, metric, I just feel like your giving goes so much further with an organization like Within Reach or somebody who's, actually in the 1040 window doing things and effectively reaching people, which I think is what you guys are doing there. And I know it is what you're doing. I get all the updates. So you're right. There's a lot of people with with the handout today. There's lots of organizations you can give to. I would just encourage people to really look at the look at the fruit, really evaluate, the folks that you're getting behind and supporting, and think about, how you can make the best impact possible with the resources that God's blessed you with.
You sound like a professional over here, Josh. Yeah, that's good. I think what we're talking about is sowing into things that are that have eternal value, and how if you're gonna be giving or investing in the stock market, you're obviously going to go and check your funds, see if they're growing, see if they're failing in the same way this way. So, yeah. Also, I think something you touched on really powerful is relationship. I mean, we've known each other for 18 years.
Yeah.
And suddenly I feel like, our hearts are kind of gelled together. Well, that's kind of a weird term with you. Maybe I should think of a better analogy. We share the same vision and passion to serve people, but we do it from different avenues or aspects because of where our lives are located.
For sure.
Right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, I really appreciate you coming on, sharing, and hopefully
Absolutely.
This inspires people to give more and to find someone or an individual or an organization worth donating to.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Have a great day.
We'll see you, Dave.
All right. Well, take care.